Welcome to the City Current Show. I'm your host, Jeremy Park. We're always honored to bring you inspiring stories of individuals and organizations making a difference and powering the good. And we love talking about entrepreneurship. And that's why we're honored to have with us Sam Davidson, CEO of Nashville Entrepreneur Center. How are you doing?
Hey, we're doing great. Thanks for having me on today, Jeremy.
Absolutely. You all are doing so much when it comes to entrepreneurs and helping to lift the community in so many different ways. So let's start with a little bit of background, over a decade at this point, but give us some history for the Nashville Entrepreneur Center.
That's right. It started as an idea almost 15 years ago here in Nashville. A group that came out of the Nashville Area Chamber of Commerce, about 70 or so individuals, looked around and said, what is this city missing? And what do other world-class cities have? Turned out Nashville is great in terms of resources for existing businesses, but there was not a lot for new businesses or even people who were dreaming about a new business. So the idea first was explored by a task force. And then, about 12 or so years ago, the Entrepreneur Center officially came into being. We've been in our current home in the trolley barns over south of Broadway area for about 10 years, where we have entrepreneurs coming in here on a daily basis to work on their dreams, to chase down their ideas in order to create something meaningful for our community, for themselves, for their families, to leave a legacy. So that's what we do, is we provide that level of support for all entrepreneurs in Nashville.
And so you've got the space, we'll talk about that. You've got the different phases. And so wherever someone is in those stages, you've got something for them, and even specialization when it comes to, of course, Nashville and music and entertainment and fintech. And so let's go ahead and start diving in. Give us an idea of where it starts. So for someone who has an idea, you have the different phases, as I mentioned, but go ahead and dive into the programs.
You bet. So when we look at entrepreneurship, man, look, the odds are stacked against you. Before I came here in this CEO seat, I was an entrepreneur myself for 17 years across 4 companies. And the facts are that, again, we've all heard them before, that over half of businesses, new business startups fail, especially over the first 5 years. And we love to celebrate folks who beat those odds, but we look at it and say, hey, how do we just increase the odds? Why does it have to be so difficult? So if you look at the research of why businesses fail and also of why businesses succeed, there's a lot of reasons, of course. But one element of success across the board is access to a mentor. And so business owners, entrepreneurs that had a mentor or some group of people, a community that was offering them advice and guidance, they have a much higher chance at success. So number one, we provide that for any and every entrepreneur in the city of Nashville. That program is called Amplify. You can find that on our website at ec.co. And that is where, if you're looking for a mentor or you want to be a mentor, we want to hear from you. So as an entrepreneur, you can sign up and say you're looking for marketing help or looking for ideas to expand your sales channels. You can find an expert in that space. Ditto, if you've had a great career or are a specialist in an area, sign up and volunteer to advise an emerging and an aspiring entrepreneur. That's what leads to success. So that's what we're all in on for any stage of entrepreneurship. Now, what leads to failure? Again, every article you read, there's lots of stuff, but one commonality is a lack of understanding the fundamentals. That could be fundamentals of business in general, the fundamentals of your industry, your product, your market. So we want to help people do that. And that's where our programs come into play. So we have programs across the entrepreneurial life cycle, as you said. We have one called Preflight, that is for brand new businesses, or maybe you're just at the idea stage. Maybe it's a side hustle and you're saying, could this be a full-time hustle? We have programs that are designed to do that. Again, visit our website. You can find more of a description and a way to apply to that program. For businesses that are existing, folks who are all in, generating revenue already, but are ready to scale and need to find some efficiencies or go deeper on strategy or product market fit, are thinking about hiring people for the first time, we have a program called Inflight. And that's for businesses, again, that are established, generating revenue, but need to grow and scale. And so that cohort, we run that twice every year. It's a 4-month program with in-class curriculum paired with peer groups and, again, mentors to help them grow. And those are both industry agnostic. So Preflight and Inflight, any idea, any industry, you can link up and join those groups. Now, for our industry-specific accelerators, we have Project Fintech, Project Healthcare, and Project Music and Entertainment. And so those are industry-specific accelerators. So they really go deep with industry introductions, with exploration into the regulatory environment, for looking at funding and capital options. So again, it's a very intensive deep dive into those industries designed to help those companies do in about 6 months, but might take them 6 years on their own. And so that's our way to provide those fundamentals to increase the odds of success for all of those entrepreneurs as well.
And I think just like you're talking about, it's the fundamentals, the blocking and tackling, but it's creating the mentorship and the ecosystem for success, which is exactly what you're doing. Carry that into how things have shifted. And when you look at where we are today with the proliferation of artificial intelligence and all of these things that are going on that create new opportunities for entrepreneurs, but also challenges, how do you kind of put in perspective where we are in this moment, especially with the hybrid workforce and all of these dynamics, inflation, recession, throw in whatever buzzwords you want. How do you put in perspective where we are from an entrepreneurial perspective?
We see the ecosystem of entrepreneurship as ever changing, exactly what you're saying. Some of that is external factors. Again, everything you mentioned, new technologies, macroeconomic conditions, and some of those are internal factors. And I mean that by internal to Nashville. So when the EC started almost 15 years ago, like I said, there was really no single resource, but not many resources at all for entrepreneurs to help them get up, get going. Now there are over 70 in Nashville that are entrepreneurial serving organizations in some way. So our great universities locally are helping their student and alumni entrepreneurs. You have organizations like Corner to Corner, Conexión Americas that are helping entrepreneurs in their particular communities. You have more and more capital providers helping entrepreneurs get launched and raise money. You have more and more co-working spaces. So part of our job at the EC is to map that ecosystem. Again, available on our website. So you may realize, the EC doesn't have something specific for you. That's okay. I tell our team, I could never raise enough money. We could never build a big enough building to help every single entrepreneur in a city like Nashville that's growing daily. But that's good because we have so many of these ecosystem partners to help entrepreneurs continue to grow. So when a new technology like an AI or a new currency like crypto or a new phenomenon like a hybrid workforce comes into play, I think our city is resilient enough to help entrepreneurs figure that out with all of these ecosystem partners. So we also do offer workshops from time to time. So visit our event calendar. If you're an entrepreneur or thinking about it, you can come to any number of public events that sometimes are a deep dive into a particular topic. And sometimes we may just cover those more generic and general business fundamentals to help entrepreneurs understand that as well. We host all those events down here at our building on 41 Peabody downtown. But again, we also promote our ecosystem partner events because there's so much happening in a city as robust as Nashville.
Obviously, it's impossible just like, pick your favorite kid. You can't do it. So what's one or two, though, that come to mind in terms of entrepreneurs, businesses that you've had, the pleasure of working with and seeing them scale and grow and find success? So give us maybe one or two success stories that pop into your head.
You bet. Yeah. So the few that come to mind, one is Jason Moore was one of the founders of Stratazan. Stratazan was the first company that ever went through EC programming almost 10 years ago. And that company had a very successful exit not too long ago. So it just shows sort of that entire life cycle that we're not here to produce overnight successes or even one-hit wonders, but that was an incredible team that came together with an original idea that the EC helped birth. And it was cool to see them go from that phase 1 all the way to phase 4 exit. And now Jason is a very involved alum of the EC, and we appreciate his support in helping mentor the next generation. The other is what Shawnee Dowell is doing with Pasa, and it's a fantastic tech app. Shawnee was the first Black woman in Tennessee to raise over $1 million in venture funding to get her idea off the ground. She went through our Preflight, hey, I have an idea, and our Inflight programming, hey, here's my idea, how do I take it to the next level? And so she's someone who has helped us realize what the potential is of our programming, but more importantly, again, she's also helping support the future generation as a board member here at the EC. So that's really another thing we believe about entrepreneurship is it's one thing to help a company grow and find financial success, but we always want to remind them that this is a community of entrepreneurs. And nearly every entrepreneur that we know that I've met is eager and happy to get back to share those lessons to really fulfill that mentorship, that advisory part of our mission as well.
For you, obviously sitting in the role of CEO, but also entrepreneurship in your background as well, how has all this kind of helped you become a stronger leader? How has this reshaped your focus on entrepreneurship and kind of sharpened your saw, so to speak?
Yeah, it was interesting. When I first kind of fell into entrepreneurship back in 2006, if everybody remembers those good old days, it wasn't because that was my dream. I majored in history as a college student, didn't really have any sort of business or economic background, worked in hotel management in the nonprofit sector, but just had an idea one day. And I went to a guy who worked down the hall, Steven, and said, hey, here's an idea. I don't know what we're supposed to do with this. And we put our heads together and we started a company. And it wasn't long into that first company of mine where I realized I don't know what this is called, but I think this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. Not necessarily just one company, but just this idea of going from a spark to a fire, from an idea to reality. Whatever that's called, that's what I want to do. And didn't know it at the time, but ended up starting 3 more companies. And each time you get better, you don't make, hopefully, the same mistakes again. And so it was my latest venture, Batch, which is a gift company based in Nashville that I recently left in order to come run the EC, where I got the chance to see so many entrepreneurs. Our supply chain at Batch was based nearly exclusively of small businesses across America. So I heard hundreds of stories of people making candles in their garage or starting to make their chocolate chip cookies in their kitchen, and now they needed a factory. And to hear those stories and to hear stories of struggle, but also stories of triumph, it was always in the back of my mind, how can I help all these people connect or not make each other's mistakes even? And that's what the EC does at its heart. And so it was such the right opportunity that found me earlier this year, and such an honor to get to be the new CEO here to help so many entrepreneurs, especially in a city that raised me, that I love. And so it's a perfect match there to be able to take my background, absolutely, but pair that with over 200 other backgrounds that form our mentor and advisory network to help. To date, 14,000 entrepreneurs have used some kind of service at the EC in our existence. So to me, that's something we just want to keep doing more and more of.
Let's carry that 14,000 entrepreneurs that you've had a chance to work with and support forward. And this will lead us into how can the community support your efforts. But talk about the important role that you play, you as an organization, in lifting the community at large. So when you think about economic development, workforce development, you think about lifting on all these different sides, you play a very vital role in that, and the creative economy too. So talk about the role that you play in lifting the whole community.
You bet. So nationally, small businesses provide over half of the country's economic engine. They're about 2/3 of all new jobs created in the U.S. Locally in Nashville, your stats are about the same. And so Nashville is an entrepreneurial economy. We have a vision to make Nashville the most entrepreneurial city in America. And that matters because even in a city that has a lot of high-profile corporate relocations, those new companies coming to Nashville need innovative vendors. They need innovative partners. They need innovative customers. And so that's just a small part of what entrepreneurship can do. For anybody starting a company here, we love hearing that because that doesn't mean just one new job was created for the entrepreneur, but quite often it means many other new jobs were created as well. Nashville has become a place that is not just about entrepreneurship in our 2 kind of most famous industries, music and healthcare, but that's something that speaks to our brand new accelerator in fintech and what financial technology is doing to a city like Nashville. Nashville is a place where automobiles are made, where we see hospitality as one of our largest industries. And so Nashville is becoming such a vibrant economy, and we're seeing entrepreneurship across all of those industries, that Nashville is not just a place where, look, the country music daydreamer of old was like, I'm going to go make it in Nashville. I'm going to go make it in Nashville. And it could be a product, it could be a life, it could be a dream, but they see Nashville as a place where they want to come do that. And so that's where the EC stands with open arms to say, let us help you. It doesn't have to be this hard. It doesn't have to be this lonely. We can help you increase your odds of success.
I love it. So go ahead and talk about how the community can support the EC and get involved.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, go to our website, ec.co, and that's going to have all of the info you need. If you're thinking about, I have an idea, I need to, it doesn't need to be this hard. I want to get the knowledge. I want to have access to those mentors. The website's the best and the first place to start. If you are just looking to book some time with a potential advisor, click and learn more about our Amplify program, and you can get logged in to do that. And ditto, if you have expertise that you want to share, fill out that application. We do some vetting because we don't want people in there who aren't in it for the right reasons. It truly is a volunteer, a give back opportunity, but we want to continue to populate that, which is world-class advisors. So that's always a great way to do that. Folks can also join our virtual community. So again, if you aren't able to come down here, you don't quite think you need to dive as deep as that one-on-one mentorship, we've got a great list of benefits from discounts on software and other things that help you grow your company to a really awesome Slack channel that's full of thousands of entrepreneurs here locally who are sharing ideas and resources and just helping one another out digitally. So you can join that on the website as well. And then, of course, we've got ways to give. to the EC as well. There's donation information on there. So if you just want to support the next generation of entrepreneurs, you're able to do that on our website as well. Our annual award event is at the end of October every year, where we select to honor some of the just highest profile, the greatest accomplished entrepreneurs here in our community by giving out next awards. We also induct our Hall of Fame. So we maintain the Nashville Entrepreneur Hall of Fame that celebrates achievement for our local entrepreneurs here as well across a lifetime of success.
Touch on the timing when you talk about entering programs, the fact that it's year-round continual. So in other words, whenever an entrepreneur wants to tap in, the access is there. So talk about kind of timing of the programs and how it all flows.
You bet. Because we do a cohort model, we do have an application window and then official start dates. And all of those are on the website as well. We do a lot at the top of the year. So usually at the beginning of January is when we start our healthcare cohort. We start our in-flight cohort, which we do run twice a year. So that starts in January. The next group of that will be in July. And that happens, like I said, twice a year that folks can go through that. And our other programs may have a staggered schedule as well. Another one that people can sign up for is our Twin Day program. So our Twin Day Accelerator is a virtual learning community intended for minority founders, because again, they have even longer odds to create a successful company. We want to provide year-round support to them. So again, information is on our website, but that is the way where they have an entire library and database of resources that they can access at any time, paired with regular virtual events to dive deeper on their lived experience as an entrepreneur, so they can get that additional level of support that we provide. So that's a cohort that can, again, be joined any time of year if you meet those criteria. And then others, again, hop on our website and see when they start, but especially, look at those events, because even if there's not an upcoming cohort for you today, you're able still to see what our upcoming events where you can learn more. And then again, our mentor network is available year-round.
Well, I know you've said it throughout, but go ahead and say it again. You never can say it enough in the world of media. Mention the website, social media. Where do we go to learn more and get plugged in?
Absolutely. So yeah, check out ec.co. So that's our home base on the web. You'll see our social links on there. Probably the most active is to look up us up on LinkedIn as well. So given the content of what we talk about and who we're promoting, and again, we love to shine the spotlight on our member companies. So visit us there. You'll see a lot of activity for us in our LinkedIn page too.
Well, Sam, greatly appreciate all you and your amazing team are doing. Thank you for coming on the show.
You bet. Thanks for having me, Jeremy.